Are you planning on getting a ball python? You should probably know the reasons not to get one to make sure that a ball python is the right choice for you. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Zoe and this is 𝘎𝙪𝙨, my ball python. And today we're going to tell you 5 reasons why you might not want a pet ball python. I did a video like this about iguanas in the past, and I had a lot of people that were angry that I was painting iguanas in such a bad light. But I feel like it's very important, if you're going to commit to a long-term animal that's going to live for like 20 years, that you know all aspects of caring for that animal, including the things that might not be that ideal. So starting off with number 1 is that they can be picky eaters. I personally haven't had a whole lot of experience with this with my ball pythons. I have 3. My 2 littler ones are fantastic eaters that don't miss a meal. And then this guy was, I don't want to say a picky eater when I got him, but he wasn't eating when I adopted him. We went through winter and then he started eating again. And now he's a great eater. So sometimes people just don't like the fact that they can go off food, they can be picky eaters, because it can be stressful for the keeper. You think something's wrong. 9 times out of 10, nothing is wrong and everything's totally fine. But it's very important to monitor the weight and body condition of your snake and overall health. That way, if they do go off feed, you'll have a pretty good idea of whether something is wrong or not. And always make sure to consult a exotic vet if you are truly concerned. Number 2 is they can be a shy snake. So if you want a snake that's going to come out and explore and be fun to handle, some ball pythons are totally that. But in general, ball pythons get their names because when they're nervous, they curl up into a ball. And they do this quite a bit because they're relatively shy. Now, 𝘎𝙪𝙨's moving around quite a bit. 𝘎𝙪𝙨's definitely come out of his shell since I've had him for a couple of years. My ball python Mojito is very outgoing, but my ball python Snicket is a little more shy. But that's kind of a general behavior of ball pythons. They're not always super outgoing and moving everywhere like 𝘎𝙪𝙨 is right now. Number 3, they are going to require more space than some people might lead you to believe. Ball pythons especially are commonly kept in snake racks, which really are not an ideal setup for them. They do still need space to stretch out, climb, move around, just like any other reptile that you would keep. Now, this is 𝘎𝙪𝙨's enclosure over here. This is a 4x2x2 and he does use every inch of it. So a 4x2x2 is definitely what I would recommend for a bigger ball python. Some get even bigger and you'll have to go larger. Just depends on your ball python. Number 4 kind of goes with number 1, and that's that sometimes they can go off feed in winter. And there's a lot of snakes and reptiles that this tends to happen with. Even in captivity, they're still aware of the seasonal changes outside. So sometimes when you go into winter, your reptiles, or in this case ball pythons, might stop eating or not eat as much. And like I said, this isn't really an issue other than the fact that it can be stressful for the keeper because you think something's wrong with your animal. And number 5, there are so many ball python morphs, which may seem like a pro. You can get them in any sort of pattern, color, you name it. But some of those morphs come with different issues, like neurological issues. One example would be the wobble. Now, we used to know, stay away from spider ball pythons. That's kind of the main culprit of the wobble. But now that there's so many morphs, there's a lot of morphs that have these different issues, and we don't realize that because they're made up of things like spider, but now they're called something else. So a good example of this would be 𝘎𝙪𝙨. 𝘎𝙪𝙨 is a champagne paradox ball python, and champagnes are another morph of ball python that are known for having a wobble. Now, I don't really see this with 𝘎𝙪𝙨 much. When I first got 𝘎𝙪𝙨, I definitely noticed the wobble more than I do now. I bring him to education programs, I bring him to shows, and he doesn't exhibit it literally at all these days. But when I first got him, he did show more of his wobble than he does now, which is great. I'm glad that it doesn't affect his life, and he definitely doesn't have it like other ball pythons do. But it's something to be very aware of. If you're not familiar with ball python morphs, if you see a ball python you like, see what the morph is and do research on that morph to make sure that it is an okay morph and that you're not going to end up with a snake that has different conditions that may impact its quality of life. So those are 5 reasons that you might not want a ball python. If you still want a ball python after that, fantastic. They do make great pets. Just make sure to always do your research so that you are well prepared for your new friend. As always, thank you guys for watching today's video, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye!